Chapter 7, Confession. Wallace, Joseph, Joshua, and Peter, yelled Mother, and she sounded like a drill sergeant. She sounded like a drill sergeant who had just discovered that someone had made off with a pumpkin chiffon pie. A pumpkin chiffon pie made by somebody's own hands from a recipe of someone's great Aunt Mina. The boys moved reluctantly into the hall from the living room and stood with their feet poised as though ready to run the other way. What happened to a certain pumpkin chiffon pie baked by Mrs. Malloy and delivered to our very door a month ago? Peter looked at Wally, Wally at Josh, Josh at Jake, and Jake looked down at his knees. We ate it, he said. Ate it? All of it? The four of you? The boys nodded. Why? Why didn't you save any for dinner? Why did you go out and buy a pie from Ethel's bakery and try to make me think that was the pie Mrs. Malloy sent? I even thanked her for a bakery pie. I've never been so embarrassed in my life. She looked sternly at the boys. Jake? Josh? Wally? Wally couldn't stand it any longer. We destroyed it, he said. Mother continued to stare. I can't believe this. We were looking for dog mess, added Peter. What? Have you boys gone stark raving mad? We thought the girls might have baked the pie and put something awful in it, muttered Josh. Why would those three sweet girls do something like that? Easy, cried Jake. Very easy. I could see the Malloys doing that about anything you could think of. Sweet? Ha, said Josh. Remember, Wally reminded her, they threw your cake in the river. Mrs. Hatford shook her head. That I don't understand at all. Something must have happened to make them do that. What did they think was possibly inside that box? Dead bird, said Peter. What? Ellen, just quit while you're ahead, Mr. Hatford said from the dining table, gobbling down his lunch before he delivered the afternoon mail. The more you ask, the more they'll tell you, and the more you find out, the more upset you're going to get. So Wally and his brothers escaped upstairs. Mrs. Hatford went out on the back porch to cool off, and Mr. Hatford finished his Saturday afternoon rounds. When the paper came out that evening, however, the chocolate chiffon cake and the pumpkin chiffon pie were forgotten temporarily, because there was something on page 2 of the front section that interested them all. Abaguchi again. Another sighting of the elusive Abaguchi was reported yesterday by a man in the Stone Coal area of Upshur County. Clyde M. Downs and his wife Marlene were sitting down to dinner when a low growling by their Springer Spaniel sent them outside to investigate. Marlene Downs saw a large animal run out of the yard with a chicken in its mouth. At first glance, she recounted, it seemed to her a cougar, but in other ways it resembled a wolf. Clyde Downs thought it to be a member of the cat family, but like no cat he had seen before. Police report that the paw prints and bits of fur recovered from the scene were inconclusive. What do you think this means? Mrs. Hatford asked her husband. I think somebody's large dog is loose, and an awful lot of folks are letting their imaginations run away with them. If there is a creature like that running around, Tom, we ought to be awfully careful about leaving our doors and windows unlocked. Ellen, if there is a creature like that around Buckman, it's a creature, not a human. It's not as though it's going around opening windows. Wally lay in bed that night and wondered what he would do if he were to see the Abaguchi. Write the Bensons down in Georgia, he decided. Maybe that would bring them back.